Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Creators Connect series. My name is Luca, but you can call me that camera guy. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your love and support. I truly appreciate it. And if you are new here, please do consider subscribing if you like this video. Now in today's episode of the show, we're joined by one of the most established photographers here in Africa, and his name is Prince Meyson, who is well known for his photo retouching skills. In the show, Prince and I talk about how it feels for him to be someone who is highly respected and highly looked up to by a lot of up-and-coming photographers in and around Africa. And for those of you who solely know him for his photography, you may not know that Prince actually has a deep passion for music. And we talk a little bit more about that in the episode too. So just sit back, relax, and just connect with Prince. Okay, so first and foremost, thank you so much, Prince, for being here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule,
You're welcome.
your busy schedule, to just sit down and chat with me. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Really cool, fam.
Okay, yeah. So my first question has to do with you as a photographer and your career as a photographer. And I looked through your Instagram and I saw that first post that's currently on your Instagram is from 2016. So my question is, did you do something else before photography, or that's, you removed some of your old stuff? Like, what was it like? When did this photography thing start?
I have been doing photography since 2012. Actually, not 2016. Yeah, I've been doing photography since 2012. So that's like 9 years now.
Almost.
And and that's like, let me say, as a job. So I was doing it for like a year before that because I was just learning. So 2011. And before then, I was a graphics designer, and I did that for a few years too. So I've been doing photography since 2012. Now, I took out a lot of my old photos. They are all archived, so you can't see them on Instagram, but I plan on bringing them back one day.
Okay, you plan on bringing them back one day, which brings me to which brings me to another question, which is, why do you share what you share on your social media platforms? And I mean, there's definitely a reason why you took off some of the old stuff and you've kept some of the new stuff. And there's a reason why you post certain images and don't post others. So my question is, why do you share what you share on your social media platform? What's the end goal?
So for social media, I use my social media for two things. The first one is to inspire and teach people, and the second one is for business. And finding a balance between both can be hard sometimes, honestly. So what I typically do is I try to share most of my personal work and not even paid jobs, because most of the times you are working with like clients and they have their own client direction that is very different from your branding, right? So for me personally, it is, like I said, it's for both inspiring people and teaching people, and also for business. I still want clients to come. I still want to be able to attract the type of clients that I want. But at the same time, I want to be able to inspire people and show people that, you know, you can go from here to this point, or you can shoot images like this. And, you know, if you want to learn how to shoot images like this, then you can just go follow me on this platform to learn too.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of creators and content creators' goal or dream, is to inspire people, is to have people learn from them as well. And I must say, you've done that to great success. The reason why I found you is because I was sitting down with someone the other day, and they were like, you know what, one of the people I look up to the most in terms of photography and creativity is Prince Meyson. And that happened, and then I spoke to another photographer, and I think 4 or 5 people that I spoke to, about 3 of them that I actually interviewed, and they said, you know what, Prince Meyson is the man, you know? So how does it feel to be such a role model? Have you ever felt any kind of pressure to live up to a certain standard, and how does it make you feel to have so many people look up to you and the work that you do?
Pressure, no, because like I actually come from having absolutely nothing. And, you know, I've told the story a few times to people that care to listen, that my first camera was on loan, and, you know, I could not pay for it for over 2 years. And it was, I think it was about $700 or $900. So, and, you know, living that life has taught me not to try to impress anybody. and just to live my own personal life and have my own personal goals, But at the same time, it's actually amazing when you see people look up to you, when you have people that send you messages saying, oh, you inspire me every day and all that stuff. But I try my best not to let it get to me. I don't want to feel like I've achieved anything. I don't want to feel like I've gotten to, a certain point in my life. I don't want to feel any of those things. I just want to be the average person that I've always been, all my life. I do not want the amount of success that I've gotten right now to get to my head at any point, because I still have a long way to go in life.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned quite a lot of interesting things there, and I think the first one I'm going to point out is you don't want to feel like you don't want it to get to your head. You don't want all the success to get to your head.
Yep.
I mean, I've reached out.
There's one thing I want to say. There's one thing I want to say is that I in all these things I never said how much I appreciate it. So I appreciate everything and the support. I don't want people to think that I don't appreciate it because I'm talking about how I don't want it to get to my head. I really appreciate it, and it's amazing being in a position where I am, because it's not a lot of people that can get here and be in that position where they have people all over the world reaching out to them saying, we absolutely love your work and you inspire us, right? But at the same time, if you let yourself go, then you start feeling like you've achieved so much and you've achieved something. But I don't want to feel that way. As much as I appreciate it, I don't want anything to get to my head.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. It's very evident. It's not just something you say, but it's something you live out as well. Because I've definitely reached out to a lot of content creators.
Yeah.
Some of them 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 followers, subscribers, or whatever on Instagram and YouTube. But I mean, dude, you're almost clocking 70K on your Instagram.
Yeah,
but you still find time.
It's crazy.
You still find time to respond to my DM, my lowly DM. So it's not just things you're saying. It's things. I mean, like literally, there are people who feel and see themselves at a certain point where they can't give, other people their time because they are truly busy. But I mean, you're busy as well. I'm definitely sure you're someone who's busy, but you continually find the time and you continually put effort. So it's definitely something that's evident, not just in what you say, but in how you also do it.
Thank you.
It's something that's to be admired for sure.
Thank you, fam. Thank you.
Yeah. And then you also mentioned something about not doing things for people, because it's very easy to get caught up in what people want, and you stop creating things for yourself. You stop creating things for yourself, and you stop enjoying the work that you do. And something related to that was a post you made on your Instagram. I think it's a highlight and it's titled Inspiration or something like that. But there's only one post on there and it says, move in silence. They cannot have they cannot hate what they cannot see, which is very hard to do on social media, whether you've got a big following or a small following. It's very hard to grow and show your success without actually showing your growth and success. You get what I'm saying? And now you're someone who's got 68,000 followers. How are you able to still be in the spotlight so much and still sort of keep a private life and grow in the shadows? How do you do that?
I think I learned a long time ago that social media, social media is for two types of people. So it's for people that want to show off and just... So excuse me. You can say that again. So people that want to show off and just be seen, right? And the other one is for people that see it as a tool for business and a tool to change other people's lives, right? And I am in the second category. So as much as social media is what it is right now, you have millions of people on social media that just want to be seen, because it's a place where you can go live a life that is very different from the life that you live in the real life, right? So, it's easy for so many people to go there, have a following and just live that life, right? But for me, I see it more as a business tool, as a way to reach out to people, as a way to touch people's lives, right? So it's easy for me to keep my private life away from social media. So let's say, for some reason, if I buy a camera today, it's easy for me to put it on social media and say, I just bought a camera, because it's part of my work. It is what I do, The whole idea for doing that most times is to inspire people, because when I talk to people, I tell them, look, I started with absolutely nothing. I've gotten to a point where I can afford to buy a camera that is this expensive, and pay for it cash. But at the same time, I need you guys to know that there are cameras that are way more expensive than this that other people can buy. So I still have a long way to go, right? So the whole idea is inspiring people. But if I buy a new car today, I am not going to go post it on social media and say, yo, check out my new whip. Yo, look at what I just got. Yo, I'm flexing, new wheels, big pimping, I'm balling, Nah, I'm not going to do any of that stuff because, I just like to keep my personal life to myself and then, know exactly what I want to share on social media and the image that I'm trying to put out on social media, which is very different from me. Because a lot of people meet me in real life and be like, oh my God, you're so different. Like, wow.
They're shocked.
You play a lot. Yeah, you play a lot. You crack a lot of jokes. I have people that send me messages that, they'll like to work for me. And when they come to the studio and when they come to the house, they just feel like, oh, you're so different. Because on social media, you're like so proper and stuff. So, I mean... you just pick and choose what you want to share on social media.
Yeah, and I think it's very important as well to know who you are as a brand, as a person on social media.
Yeah,
and
true.
Make sure that you live up to those brands because you're now a brand. You're just yourself. There are people who look at you, there are companies who look at you, companies you represent, and ideologies you represent, and you want to make sure that you're aligned to that in front of the camera on social media.
Yes,
but
very true.
When you're with your friends, when you're with your pals in person, it's okay again to be a completely different person, to be who you are as an individual and not just a brand.
Yeah, because there's so many things you can say to your friend that you can't say online because we live in a very sensitive world right now, so you just have to be careful.
And it's important. I think it's very important for content creators and people on social media to be able to strike that balance and know that difference. And
very
not
true.
Get caught up in either one of the two. But I was going through your social media again, your YouTube, and I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked to see music on there. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, what the heck? This guy sings. And then I'm like, let's sample it. And then I sampled it and I just wanted more. And then I listened to 7 or 8 tracks and then there was no more. And I was so sad. I was like, why did he stop? Why does it end there? But I mean, how deep does your passion for music go?
Music is a big part of my life because my whole creative journey started with music. Back in secondary school, we used to rap, create all types of songs and all that stuff. And I remember in 2012, I actually put out a song because I was working with this group called Night House. And at that point, I had to make a decision. Are you going to do music or are you going to do photography? And and photography is going to feed me faster than music. That's what I think. So I'm just going to do photography and get fed because I was broke, fam. But
I was broke, fam.
but since then, I think recently, 2-3 years ago, I made a song and I was like, I can still make music, and I put an EP. And I would not lie, for the past few months, I've been recording a lot of music. For some reason, I'm just really shy about my music and I just never put it out. Yeah, I am. I'm just being honest. I'm really shy about my music. I just...
Come on, though.
I just never put it out. But soon, I'm planning on putting out another EP. I probably have 15, 20 songs recorded that nobody has heard. Yeah. Once in a while, I just go on my Instagram live and play the music, and people are like, "Oh, when are you going to put this out,
bro? You should just send it to me, maybe privately. I'm down for that because
man, I'll send it to you. Seriously,
I genuinely enjoyed the EP, Jack of all
Thank you.
Trades. It's absolutely amazing. I was shocked. I was like, how does one person do photography and videography and then go on to deliver such quality of music? It didn't make sense to me. It's really, really
Thank you.
And it's actually quite ironic because the album itself, the EP itself, is titled Jack of All Trades, and sort of doing all these multiple creative things. And the question is there about this is that a lot of people will tell you, I've watched so many videos, specifically I think when starting a YouTube channel, people are like, you know what, you need to find a niche. You can't do everything. You can't focus on everything. You need to find what you like. You need to find a niche and focus on that alone and drop everything else. But you sort of like defy the odds with that. You know, you're like videography, photography, and music. And I don't know what else, but you're like, you know what? If I'm good at something and I enjoy something, I'm going to go out there and do it, you know?
Yeah, you know, there's this thing that people say, and it's like, oh, you know, you can't do everything, but at the same time, they tell you that one thing cannot put food on the table right now. So you have to figure out how to bring things together. So I think for me, I figure out ways to make myself happy. Like recently, I go into cycling. I can't show you my leg right now because I fell yesterday and I hurt myself cycling. But you know, I'm going to cycle again on Sunday. You know, the goal is to hit 100K. Like what I do is, because people think, oh, there's this thing that they say, once you find something you love, you're never going to work a day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, that is if that thing is not paying the bills. If that thing is paying the bills, trust me, work is work. Like, yes, obviously, you know, if you're doing something you love, it's different from when you're doing something that you don't love. There's a huge difference, right? But at the end of the day, work is still work. Like, you still have to wake up in the morning and figure stuff out. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, you know, what am I doing this week? What's the topic? What am I putting out this week? I have to put stuff on YouTube, because if I don't, then, you know, there are millions of people that want to do this thing too, that wouldn't take the opportunities that you have, you know. And, you know, like, you still work with clients, you still have to travel, you still have to shoot. So, you know, for me personally, like, I just figured out different ways to make myself happy. So whenever I have spare time, I just do other things that make me happy. So, you know, I can live life to the fullest. That's the whole idea.
Yeah. And, you know, it's very difficult sometimes. You realize that as a smaller content creator, you've got so much time for yourself. And as you grow bigger and bigger, it's not just your YouTube and Instagram audience that demand more from you, but clients as well. So when we see you releasing content and we're waiting for the next video, we are very much satisfied. But there's so much work that you put in and so much effort that you put in. And I sometimes feel like, do you guys get enough rest? Do you actually find time to take a break and be in your own space and not always be giving? Do you fill your own tank? Are there ways that you fill your own tank and, you know, get edified?
I personally always make time for myself, because I mean, like, you can't make the whole money in the world, you know, you can't get the whole followers in the world, you can't get everything. So I feel like we, you know, in life, we are constantly chasing. You know, life is just about moving. You move till you stop in life, right? So every once in a while, I just tell myself, oh, you know, you need to take a break. But I tried. You know, sometimes you try, and in the middle of taking a break, you're just like, oh my God, there's so much I can be doing right now. I can be doing this. I can be doing this. I can be doing this, and I'm just here lying on the bed, you know. But I have people in my life, you know, like my girlfriend, my friends, my mom, my sisters. I have people in my life that we just say, you know what, you need to stay put for at least 2 days so that you don't do anything, and just, you know, or sometimes, you know, I just, like I said, I just go do music, or I do something that is very different, or, you know, I go cycling with my friends. I just do something that is really different from what I do every day. And, you know, it just makes life better, and it makes life easier. Trust me.
That's a good thing. And that's a good piece of advice, to always take time out, take time for yourself, take a day or two out, you know, just do something that's not what you're doing. And I think too much of anything sometimes can be a little bit too detrimental. I remember I went through a phase last year where I was just like pushing content, and then it just stopped. It just went away, and I went through a sort of creation block, and I didn't understand where the flow had gone. But I think I had overworked myself, and had not given myself time to rest, which can be very, very dangerous. But do you ever go through phases of creative block? And if you do, how do you deal with it?
I'll probably even say I'm going through one right now. So I go through a phase where I just don't know what to do, or just don't know what to put out. And whenever I'm in that phase, what I do is I just look for something else to do, or I just do anything. So, you know, I feel like as content creators and as creatives, you know, like, you get to a point where you just feel like your work is not as good as you want it to be, and you want to do more, you want to do better. Sometimes you look at other people's work and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Why can't I do this stuff? And you put like
I know how you feel,
so much.
I can
and you put so much pressure on yourself to create. And you forget that all you have to do in life is just keep moving, regardless of how small it is, regardless of how small the next step you're taking is. All you have to do in life is keep moving. So what I just remind myself is just keep moving. It really does not matter if the content, doesn't matter if the what you're shooting is not what you'd like to shoot. It really, it just does not matter. Just keep moving. And it gets to the same point where something will give. So for me, after I take a little break, do something else, what I do is I just try and organize like a very small photo shoot, regardless of how small it is, I can even tell the person, if it's possible, you can do your own makeup. And, you just realize that once you get back into whatever you're doing, you just realize how much you actually love this thing and how much you miss doing it.
So true.
Yeah. So I think for me, like my number one advice for myself always is do not overthink things. Just simple and easy. That's how it works.
Keep it simple and keep it easy. I love that. Was this always the dream for you when you were young and you were growing up? Did you always see yourself here, or plans kind of shifted as you grew up?
Plan shifted. I wanted to be I think now computer science is divided into so many things. You can be like a back-end designer, you can be a front-end designer, you can be like so many things right now, right? But then if you're going to university, you could only study computer science. So I wanted to do computer science. I wanted to be a programmer. Boy, oh boy. Look at me now.
Tell us, bro.
Look at me now. Look, man. See, in life, just be flexible. I mean, that's just what this has taught me in life. Like what you have in mind is probably not what's going to happen. So I've had so many plans turn on me, and like I just go with the flow. Oh, this is where we're at right now. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay,
let's do it. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. So that's how it works for me. If this is where everything's facing right now, then let's go.
And I like that mentality. The way we make plans isn't always how God's gonna allow it to happen. Sometimes you just gotta you gotta take what you've been given and make the best out of it. You know what I mean? I think that's the beauty of it. It's always gonna be.
That's just how it works.
You're saying that you had goals and you had plans, and those have since shifted. Do you have any goals and plans now for your future? What's the dream for Prince Meyson? What's the dream for Prince Meyson moving forward?
Dream, plans, future. Okay, so the way I work is that I make the tiniest goals for myself. Because I kind of realized that it's easy to achieve small goals. Like, oh, this week I'm going to put out 2 videos, right? Unlike saying that, this month I want to put out 12 videos, right? Or this month I want to put out 8 videos. It's easy to make those small plans because those small plans seem easier to get to than have big dreams. So like I personally would love to get to a point where my YouTube channel is going to be a lot bigger than it is right now. Where I can have all those 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers and be able to do a lot more things, like because I live in Africa and you don't have a lot of people that are willing to send gear all the way down here because there's so many people outside the country that are doing the same thing that you're doing, and they'll rather give it to those people. Except I probably have 1 million subscribers here, and they'll be like, oh, let's make an exception out of him, So like my plan is the dream is to keep growing this channel, because I was when I started YouTube, I didn't think it was going to be anything. Like, how people start YouTube because they feel like, oh, I want to make money out of this. I want to do this. I want to do that. When I started YouTube, it wasn't for any of that. I started YouTube because there were so many people reaching out to me saying, hey, we love how you retouch. We want to have a one-on-one class with you. And I'm like, I can't do that right now. But you know what? This content is on YouTube. Just go watch it. It's everything I know. That's how I started YouTube. Because, because I learned of YouTube. And in my heart, it was truly, this is a nice way to give back. So, I can't have a one-on-one class with you. I can't have a one-on-one class with you. I can't do that with anybody. So, even got to a point that was like, like, don't bug me because I have work, but I got you. I got you. I have something here. Yeah, I have something here for you. You know, go watch it. That's how I started YouTube, and it gradually turned into what it is today. And YouTube right now is business for me. So, you know, the plan is to grow the business, grow the platform, and still do everything that I've been doing, which is create content, meaningful content for people to learn all over the world, especially Black people.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. And you're doing such a great job at it. I will not lie. There's
Thank you.
An abundance of knowledge on your channel. And it's
thank you.
So much, such easy videos to follow and to do as well. And I just want to say thank you. And I think a lot of people do truly appreciate the work that you put in. Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
It's absolutely amazing. Okay, I've got 2 more questions just before we round off. And I did promise not to take too much of your time. But it's been
Let's go.
It's been an absolutely awesome chat. I really did enjoy it. The next question is, what is the one thing that you wish general people could understand about content creators or photographers in general? Just like one thing that is constantly just misunderstood by people.
We are human beings. We are not machines. Just because you see a ton of people creating content, just because you go out and you find what you want on YouTube easily now, does not mean that that thing that you found is not valuable. You know, like people come on my channel and they're like, this thing that you're doing, or this thing, you know, the audio is too loud. I can't hear anything, right? And they're so angry, and I'm just like, it's free content. And don't get twisted. I don't pay attention to any of that. I'm not one of those people that one bad comment will make me feel really bad and forget about the 200 good comments I've been getting. I'm one person that I stay positive. I'll pay attention to those good comments. If you say anything bad that is messing me up, and I feel like, oh wow, this one actually got to me, I'll delete the comment. Yeah, I would delete the comment. It's my YouTube channel. I'm just going to delete.
You've got the power. You've got the power
to. So I'm not going to let somebody else spoil my mood, right? But I just wish people would understand that everybody that's out there creating content is a human being, and just because you can find stuff so easily at the tip of your fingers and it's so easy to learn now. I mean, when I started, there was absolutely nothing to teach you how to get to the point where you are today, unlike now that there's so much content, right? So, appreciate the little things. Like it's crazy when you see people go dislike a video on YouTube, like
I can't believe that option's actually there. I can't believe that option.
Honestly, like,
there. You know what I
mean? I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me how he put out a video, he scheduled the video, right? And the video was not even out yet, and somebody disliked it. Like, fam, it's not even out yet. Yeah, so it's crazy, understand that these people are human beings. These people have feelings. These people put a lot of work. It might seem like it's not a lot of work. If I sit down to record a 5 minutes tutorial on YouTube, trust me, it's from days of thinking about how I'm going to do this. And sometimes you record the video 4 or 5 times and you think it's crap and you have to record it again. You have to edit that video, you have to put it out, you have to pay for your data. It's time that you're spending. So even if it's something that you feel like, I don't understand what this person is saying, or I don't get, like, I mean, give the person a thumbs up. Or no, you don't even have to give like a literal thumbs up like on YouTube. Just move on. Just say, okay,
enjoy it. Just move on.
So people forget that there's somebody at the other end of that video, that is a human being, and they just but I mean, me saying this is not going to change anything. So my advice for content creators is like, man, you have the power. You decide to either feel the same way or feel a good way. So, just do what you have to do and move on too as a content creator, because they'll keep coming.
You're very right. I think us saying it and talking about it is not going to really change anything on the audience's point of view and the audience's perspective. But I think as content creators, we definitely do have the power to ignore it, because it can easily get to your head. Like you said, one bad comment can easily surpass 200 good ones to some individuals.
Yes.
You're like, you know what? I'm off this thing. I don't want to do this YouTube thing anymore. And that's the end of someone's potentially great career, So
and somebody actually inspiring other people to do stuff.
Yeah, so I think as content creators, we need to be very brave as we enter this really, really hectic world, because it's hard. You remove one comment and there's another one tomorrow. So these things are they're gonna keep coming. And I think we just need to be supporting one another as well, and just like really having really strong minds and hearts to just ignore that stuff, because it can mess you up. It can definitely mess you up. I like that. I like that a lot. And I just got one more question just before we kill it off and sign off. And it's that I think we've seen the amount of success you've had and how awesome it is for you and how much you enjoy creating content.
When you say this thing about success, you make people feel like, oh my God.
No, it is. God, it is what it is, bro. Like, you really need to savor the moment.
It's so successful. Oh my God.
Mama made it.
I'm just a really small channel that's still growing, honestly. But yeah, go ahead. I mean, feed me with some of that successful story stuff.
Feed me. No, I love your mentality. It's something to admire, it's something to look up to, and something to adopt as well as other content creators are growing and things like that. But the question is, what's the hardest part about your work? And again, like you said, all people see is the 5-minute video you've uploaded. They see you smiling, they see you in the moment, happy and good and all that stuff. But what's the hardest part? What goes on behind the scenes that we never get to see?
I'll say the hardest part of my work is, there are like so many parts that are hard, honestly. Like,
okay, share.
Maybe I'll talk about two parts. Yeah.
Okay.
So I feel the first one is creating content continuously. Like you have to be on top of that, because like I said, we live in a world where there's so much content out there right now that the minute you step down, there's somebody that's going to step up to take your place.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly create content. You have to constantly think about creating something that is meaningful. And even if you're not creating something that is teaching somebody something, you have to create something that is a bit entertaining for people to watch, right? So, and I'm still at that point where I don't know how to create entertaining content. I'm still learning. I'm trying to learn how to create entertaining content.
It's that music, bro. It's that music. We need more.
So I'm still learning. I think that's the first one. The second part is not paying attention to numbers and stats.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how numbers and stats destroy you gradually. And as a content creator, that's what a lot of people tend to pay attention to. So, sometimes I just go on my YouTube and I'm just like, oh my God, 7,000. And at that point, I can't wait to get 70. Like, when am I going to get 70,000? But once I get there, I totally forget about it. Maybe till I get to 99,000 again. When I put out a video, I just consciously tell myself that, look, I'll subconsciously tell myself that, if this video, I have almost 70,000. If this video gets to 1,000, then I'm fine. Because guess what? I have about 800 to 1,000 people that have seen this thing, right?
Yeah.
And I tell people, it's easy to get carried away with numbers, because once you go on YouTube will only, for the most part, recommend videos to you from popping creators that have a ton of views, creators that have like so much following and they get like so much views on their channel, right? They're not going to like always show you a small channel. Like it's just once in a while that you see that. So in your mind, you're probably thinking so many people around the world are doing so great and you're doing crap. You're not doing very well. So I try to not look at the numbers. I try to not look at how other people around me are doing. I'm just concentrating on my channel, because, I just believe slowly and surely you get to where you want to be.
Yeah. And
so those are the two things.
It's a very relevant point. I think even as a much smaller creator than you, I mean, looking at someone with 500, maybe 1,000 subscribers, all they're focusing on at their stage is like, I want more subscribers. So it's very easy to get caught up in that mentality and not actually focus on making really good, productive, high quality content. Not actually enjoying your work.
Yep.
So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that could be very detrimental. And I think focusing on the numbers is a very, very toxic one. It's a very toxic one if you're not careful. If you're not careful, it could lead you down a very, very dark and deep rabbit hole.
do this because you love it. Do it because, it's something that you've always wanted to do. Don't do it because, you want the views, Like, I feel like be comfortable with the number of views you have. There's this thing that people say, like, they say if you don't find happiness when you don't have anything, you're probably, and that word probably, but for the most part, you're probably not going to find happiness when you have everything.
That is so
So
deep.
you have to be happy with the little you have, because happiness is from within. You have to learn to be happy from within. So
it reminds me of something. It actually reminds me of something someone said, and they're like, you know what? When you're truly happy and content with who you are, you're able to go to a restaurant, order a table for one, and have an entire 3-course meal by yourself in a restaurant. You just like spoil yourself. It's like if you're able to get to that point where you're happy by yourself, and then you can definitely be happy with someone else. You know what I mean? It's like
because I'm truly happy individual. Trust me, I'm one of those people that I absolutely love what I do. I love where I'm at, and I don't look at other people. I don't try to be like any other person. I just want to be myself and do my thing. So, and that's something that has pushed me to not be on social media as much. That's one of the reasons why I'm not following anybody except my preset page on social media, because it's not because I don't value people's work. It's not because I don't love people's work. It's that I feel like social media makes you look at just the positive sides of people's lives, and you don't see any other thing, and then you start questioning your own life, and you're looking at somebody that you're doing way better than, but because of how they've packaged their social media to look, you start thinking you're not as good as this person. So like, just be happy with where you are. I think that's it. Like, just be really happy with where you are, and you just keep growing. So if you're happy with your 10 subscribers and you make quality content for your 10 subscribers, those 10 subscribers, will bring another 10. Then the 20 will bring another 20. And gradually people will talk about you and talk about your work. And I mean, that's how I started. So, gradually, and I got here. It started from one person.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think that's the power of networking as well. The importance of keeping a close connection with people in the community. Sometimes it's tempting to just want to do this thing by yourself,
yes,
but I think people are very important. Other creators are very important as well. I think creativity feeds off.
And I absolutely love what you're doing. I absolutely love what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I feel like Black people should support Black people a lot more than we do. So, when you reached out to me, it really wasn't about, if you had numbers or anything. For me, it was like, it would be nice to talk to another brother, like, just, talk about anything with another person and just, grow with any other person. So, absolutely love what you're doing, and, keep doing what you're doing. And I hope you can connect with a lot more creators. I hope your channel grows, and I hope it's big. Just don't stop at it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your words. It's very humbling, and it's something that one needs sometimes, just to know that you're doing the right thing and on the right track. To get an encouraging word or two is really powerful. So thank you so much. It means a lot.
You're welcome.
And that's the end of our interview today, our sit down today. It's been really cool. I learned so much from you, man. I can't believe it. Again, like you said, it's different when you see someone on YouTube or Instagram and they're doing their thing, and then when you actually get to sit down with them and chat to them, it's completely
very different.
It's very, very different, but I love it. I absolutely love it, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Wait, to make this thing easier for you, because I'm just going to cut it, like, just so many times that I'm kind of looking at my monitor that's right over here, but just to make sure it's recorded, because I do you know how it would be if it wasn't recorded?
Please. What? And you can bleep out my curse words. My apologies.
No.
But yeah, cool. So to make things easy, so maybe we'll clap on 3 so you can sync this easily. Is that fine?
Okay.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, clap. No, you clapped way.
Oh my days! No, but don't worry. I think I'll sync it. I'll
Never mind.
I'll definitely be able to sync it. I think that's definitely the hardest part. I love how you know how difficult it's going to be to sync this thing. It's definitely it's very difficult to sync videos that have been sent. But I always get it after trial.
And I don't even know what the delay is on Zoom right now, but yeah.
There's probably always a delay. There's probably always a delay.